Going to bring another session with Dr. Bajaj. He has already done two sessions in the mental health and the emotional realm, and he is a great speaker. And he is a senior consultant from Chennai, India, and he has lots of experience in internal medicine and also consultants for psychological aspects of medicine and also human being. He has wealth of knowledge to share. Without further ado, um, let's bring Dr. Bajaj.
Thank you for your kind words, Dr. Muthukumar, and a good day to all present here today at the seminar. And today's topic of discussion, as has already been told, is discussions on the topic of failure. All of us have had some failures in our life. How we have handled it has been different at different times. We will today see how we could bring out a winning attitude in the face of failure. So I have a few slides prepared, and let me share that with you, post which we can field some questions and end the session on a positive note, moving from failure to success. So, Dr. Muthukumar, I'm just sharing my PowerPoint presentation. Let's begin on a journey. The journey of how we can look at failure anew. So, do we perceive failure as a challenge that overwhelms us? Or can we learn to look at failure as an opportunity that can help us succeed? Let's begin by trying to recognize a personality. I'll give you a few tips about his life and let's see if we can recognize him. He faced many setbacks in life. He lost his job. He tried doing business but failed miserably there too. He went on to try and become a politician but was defeated in election 8 times. But ultimately, he went on to become the President of the United States of America. And I'm sure most of us have guessed who he is. Yes, Abraham Lincoln. Let's go further and see if we can recognize this personality. He spent countless hours on finding a solution to improve the light bulb. He struggled to try out more than 6,000 materials that would work. He failed over 1,000 times before he finally found the right material and ultimately gained lasting fame and recognition for his many inventions. I'm sure we have guessed who he is too. Yes, it is none other than Thomas Alva Edison. Just one more for us to recognize to see if we can guess who he is. He started off with a promising career. Midway, he began to face many challenges. He succumbed to the pressures of adversities and obstacles, and finally, he gave up. Have we guessed who he is? Of course, we could not guess him because we don't know who he is. He faded into obscurity, did not make a mark for himself, did not leave a name behind. What decided these two different outcomes? Let's explore. It was the way they perceived failure and then acted on it. The first two personalities took failure as an opportunity to explore alternate ways to succeed, whereas the other gentleman perceived failure as an end in itself. He perceived failure as an insurmountable challenge and gave up. Let's look at the differing attitudes people have to failure. At two sides of the spectrum, we have one who feels challenged and the other who see an opportunity in it, the opportunist. Let's see how the challenged perceives, internalizes, and works out the process of failure within himself. He perceives failure as something that he owns. He gets identified with failure. He internalizes that situation, the result, and immediately perceives himself as being unworthy. The thoughts that follow are one of incompetence. He thinks, I am incompetent. This is followed by an emotion of feeling overwhelmed by self defeating emotions that brings upon feelings of loss and feelings of depression. And therefore, in his mind, he has imagined himself as having been rejected and suffered a loss. This culminates in a decision of giving up. He says, I give up. And therefore, this decision is followed by the action of resignation. What do all these do to him? What is the final outcome that we see in him? The outcome is accepting failure. Let's look at how the opportunist processes failure. His perception is different. He perceives failure as an external phenomena. He doesn't internalize the failure. He says the process failed. He doesn't say, I failed. He says things didn't work out as expected. Fine. In this context, he retains the thought of competence. He continues to believe in his competence to solve a problem. And this is followed by an emotion of feeling inspired, of being, motivated, wanting to go forward, not be stumped by failure. And there comes the imagination in his mind of the various possibilities that have still been left unexplored that can lead him to reaching his goals, that can lead to achievements. And the decision is taken to persist against all odds. And he gets determined to act till he succeeds. All of this put together gives him a different outcome, the outcome of achieving success. Let us learn today on how we could become the opportunist in the face of failure and leave behind our usual, a habitual response to failure as feeling challenged and feeling overwhelmed. The first and the most important thing is transforming our perception of failure. How do we see failure differently with a fresh set of eyes and thought processes? First is to not get identified with failure. Let us not internalize failure and berate ourselves for being incompetent and therefore having failed at a particular task. The moment we do not get identified with failure and put labels of incompetence on us, we have safeguarded our self esteem. We do not lose our self esteem. We keep a healthy self esteem, which is most important to help us in our journey forward. Therefore, it is wise to look at failure as a phenomenon outside of us, as something that did not work, as a process that did not give us the result we desired. Let us also learn from each failure. What is it that did not work? What was it that we did which was out of context and therefore did not reach the desired goal? Thus, having learned from each failure, we also always remember that failure is a process that teaches us about things that don't work. And in this manner, we can see how failure can be construed as being stepping stones to success. Having learned this art of transforming our perception to failure, let us look at adopting certain effective action plans to reach success or to overcome failure, to become an opportunist rather than being challenged all the time. Have a well defined goal in mind, because a well defined goal always is the North Star that helps us to take us to where we want to go. If we do not know what our goal is towards which we are moving, we may move in different directions and reach a destination we did not want to go to in the first place. So know well, where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? Define all the attributes of the goal. And keeping that firmly in mind, chalk out a clear strategy or a path to reach that goal. And that's not all. We need to get into action. We need to walk that path that leads to our goal. And as with all journeys, we are going to come across roadblocks along the way. But we must not be deterred. We must handle this. We must handle and find ways to overcome obstacles by doing different things or doing things differently, whatever it may take. And finally, we must not let go of our determination to succeed. Let us look at something else, something that we can inculcate into our personality, into our character, some attributes which are definitely empowering when we encounter failure and which help us unfailingly to overcome failure and reach our goals. I call this the power of the three P's, namely patience, developing the inner strength for delayed gratification, where at the first sight of not being fulfilled by the result that we expected, we develop this inner strength to wait for its fulfillment, to not be enveloped by emotions that could take us off our path to reaching the goal. I can wait as long as it takes, but I am not giving up till I reach my goal. I'm willing to give up my gratification of success for as long as it takes, but I am not giving up my journey towards my goal. The other is persistence, continuing on and on in the face of adversity, difficulty, or opposition. Just like we always say, slow and steady wins the race. We imbibe this attribute to be sure that it does not matter if it is a slow journey, but I am going to tread on and on and on the path to success. Finally, perseverance, which is about keeping alive that inner resolve to reach one's goal. Keep the fire burning within and allow us to be propelled by it to reaching our target, our goals, our fulfillment. Imbibing these three P's into our character can serve us well to handle any failure that comes our way. Also, let us not be deterred by failure, as failure happens to be an integral part of success. Let's look at some of the quotes of famous people who thought so. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm, said by none other than Winston Churchill. You know what his success story is. failure is success in progress. Albert Einstein. We all know about his phenomenal achievements in life. It's not that these great personalities did not have to face failures, but these are the great insights that they got in their journey to success, as did Henry Ford, who said, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. And finally, remember to never give up because many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. Success must be maybe waiting for us round the corner. So remember, if we have made up our mind to reach this goal or any goal, trudge on, continue, because you might be closer than you think to success. Thank you for your patient hearing.
Sir.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shankar Babu. I'm from India, but currently in UK. That's fine. Nice presentation, Rajesh, and thanks, Muthumar, for organizing. Uh, the thing is, I joined the conversation a little bit late, but anyway, I managed to join at the end of the presentation. That's fine. Rajesh, the question to you. Uh, the thing is, as you say, to avoid the failure, we have to be patient and we have to uh, approach persistently. I agree with that. But if we don't have commitments in many other things, like family, work, and other things, we are somehow tied up with this uh, all the bondings. So uh, making time specific for certain tasks, like for example, if I want to learn a new thing um, out of my career, I am a doctor, but I want to learn something like music or politics or something. Allocating the time becomes stressful for my other tasks like family, work, and other scheduled things. How do I manage that?
Very, very good question, Dr. Shankar Babu, and thank you for your kind words.
Yeah, thank
As
you.
I understand, you would like to expand your knowledge to other areas, which might be your hobbies, where you would like to attain some proficiency in, like music, maybe it's about leadership role or anything like that. But your current occupation keeps you tied up. Now, here we enter into a segment called structuring of time. So, how do
Okay.
we go about it?
Yeah.
Before we structure time, let us let us write things down in the order of priority in our lives. For instance, if our profession is our first priority, note that down. And then, if it takes some time for us to be with our family and enrich our relationship with our family, that could be priority number two. And the thing is to then, therefore, apportion that time appropriately to those activities and then leave out some time. What I mean to say is that at least begin somewhere. Don't deny yourself that opportunity to learn something new that would give you happiness. It could be half an hour, but begin somewhere. Because every journey of 1,000 miles has to begin with the first step. So take the first baby step that you can to indulge yourself into that activity that would give you happiness. Happiness for yourself. You begin with maybe 15 minutes. It doesn't matter, but you have at least begun your journey in that direction. And as you continue to unfold, you will find things settling down by themselves. So everything starts in the mind. How are we going to prioritize and how are we going to strategize? And therefore, how are we going to structure our time frame? So the chaotic day becomes more organized. You know, it's this time period I have to give to my profession. No compromise there. Fine. Because you're a professional, you will have to give that much time because we went into it with our eyes open, knowing that this is the time that will be asked of us in this profession. The next step is just giving time to your family because you're responsible to them too. And then having given this to others, to your profession, it's all about giving your time to others. Then comes the time for yourself. And there you structure time, initially maybe a few minutes, a half hour or 1 hour, and then that can slowly expand on its own as you become more and more proficient in what you're learning to do. But
Yeah.
don't give up on your desires of wanting to know and learn something out of what you do every day. Because this is where we nurture our mind and soul. Because this is where we gain true happiness. And this is your me time where no one else is there. It's you with yourself. And it's your calling. Yes, by providence, we got into a profession. By providence, we made relationships, which is good, which is also nurturing to the mind and the soul. But here's another calling coming your way. I want to learn music. I want to sing. I want to play a musical instrument. Begin. Begin small. And then, unknown to you, as you prioritize your time and structure your time constructively, you will find yourself fitting all this into your schedule every day. But if we don't begin, we are not going to reach anywhere. So at least begin, and then everything will fall in place. Take that first step, is what I would look forward to from you.
Uh, Thank you. It's a good motivation. Actually, when I was listening to your speech, I really got certain points which was making me to delay taking the first step. Sometimes I take the first step, then that step doesn't work, then I give up. Then after a long gap, I go for that step again, then give up. But today, when you said, um, begin the first step and be persistent. Don't worry about the failures. Keep moving on. That was a good point. I take it up. Yeah, it's really helpful. Yeah,
I'm so
thank
happy
you.
for you. Please keep walking. See, as a baby, we always took a first step and fell down. But did we stop our desire to stand up again and take the next step? Had we stopped there, we wouldn't have been able to walk today.
Yeah,
So
true.
take this also to be the same experience as we had, where we were challenged. We saw others doing it. I want to do it too. There's no
Yeah,
way I'm not doing it. And there was a fire in our belly. Come what may, I'm going to find time to do it. Had we
yeah,
also thought at that time, well, why not I sit down and play only with my toys? Why do I struggle to stand, fall, get hurt? stand again, and learn to walk. Anyway, I'll get carried by my parents. So why not I enjoy that luxury? Why do I struggle? But I went ahead. I wanted to experience that. See, it's a desire for that experience that is the motivating force to go in that direction. If there's a desire and the fire in your belly, I want to learn music, come what may, because it helps me feel something that I've never felt before. And that feeling is so good, is so calming, is so, nourishing to me. Would you give up? You would not. So it's that what we call the feedback loop. Keep that feedback loop alive. The first time you experience music and feel elated, don't forget it. Let that feedback elation be the driving force for your next step. And then the next step. Till at one time, you'll find yourself not walking, but running. So go ahead and keep that fire alive and chase that dream of yours as you have chased the others so far.
Yeah, thank you, Rajesh. I'm sure other listeners will have more questions. Yeah,
I wish you well.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. It was really motivating.
Thank you
Thank
both.
you.
There are some comments I want to read. Thank you, Dr. Devendra. And he
Yes,
said,
sir. Yes, sir.
you
Yes,
want to
sir.
ask some questions, sir?
The opportunity. And first of all, thank you very much, sir. Wonderful.
Thank
Congratulations. Very, very informative talk, sir. And sir, I have some two queries now. Sir, that is,
Yes.
I just want to discuss. I don't know whether they are related very well to this or not. Sir, one thing is there. Many years ago, I used to attend the marriages and the birthday functions of my patients. Some of my patients, we are close to me. They used to invite me. I used to go there. But now, because of the advancing age, I'm not able to attend that. But it creates a tension in my mind. They will feel it that I am changed. So that is why how to overcome this thing, how to make it more practical. One is this, sir. And the second one I'll discuss, sir, subsequently.
Yeah. So, today, as we have aged, many things have also evolved along with us. The fact that you find it difficult now to be physically present at their functions, you could now be available to them virtually. It's better than not being there. Connect with them virtually, participate in their happiness so that they feel that bond has not really broken. Doctor has not
Yes, sir.
changed. He still cares for us. We understand that he finds it difficult to reach us physically, maybe because of the distance or maybe so many other factors. But the fact that you remembered his birthday, the fact that you came on virtually to participate in the cake cutting or in his, celebration for some time at least, can still keep the bonds strong. And you also can be at ease that it was not a all or nothing, but I found another way. See, this is what I talk about obstacles to failure. Learn to go through the obstacle, climb over the obstacle, dig your way from under to reach the other side of the obstacle, or just go around the obstacle, but just find a way because you want it badly. And when you want something badly, relinquish the task to your mind to help you find a solution. Keep the resolve going because you have a clear goal in mind. Begin with the end in mind. Your end is I want to maintain the bond with my patients as I did earlier. The truth is, with time and with distances increasing, I'm not able to do what I could do physically earlier. Then you wait, you stop, you think. You don't have to just give it up. And as you think, you realize I can still be with them at the virtual level.
Yes,
They
sir.
feel good. They have my presence. They know I have remembered their birthday. The bonds remain strong. You are happy, and they are also happy. So you have found a way out and reached your goal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, one more query, if the time permits 2 minutes. Sir,
Yes.
usually what happens, we give appointment to our patients. Say we give from 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock, sir. And sometimes there is a emergency, there is a death of someone close to you. And then you have to go for the uthavna, what we call for the ceremony, from 5 to 6 o'clock. It takes about 1.5 hours to reach there and then come back and then all. So sometimes we feel so guilty that we are doing injustice with those patients who are coming in time. They have been informed previously, they have taken appointment 3 days back, 4 days back, but we are not available there. So how to overcome this thing? We feel guilty from inside. Yes, the patients are waiting, their children are crying, but I have to attend that also many a times. So this is unavoidable sometimes. So how to overcome this stress?
This is by trying to understand reality. The reality around us is made up of what we call unpredictabilities. This was not of our making. Supposing I was to, book a ticket for a movie and go there between 5 and 7 and shirk my responsibility to my patients, I have to feel guilty. But this is something that was not of my doing. It was something that was put on me through providence, an unpredictable event in time of which I had no prior knowledge. It happened.
Yes,
Now I am torn between my duty towards attending the funeral of my close relative or attending to my patient. Look at it from both points. The end result is going to be guilt. Should I go for the funeral? I am guilty that I did not tend to my patients whom I had given appointment to. But if I continue to stay back and tend to my patients and not go to the funeral, the same guilt will come in another guise. I was not able to go to my relative's funeral where I was required. So you see, there's always going to be challenges for which we will not have one right answer. The guilt, whichever way, is going to appear. But we have to understand, and this is where again I would say, try to prioritize. Which of the two is more important? For instance, if there is a possibility that there is going to be another function in which you could go and pay your condolence to the departed relative's family, then you have a choice. You can continue with your appointments that you have fixed here and then postpone your travel to that place where you have to pay your condolence. So, thinking of possibilities. This is written in stone because the appointments have been given and the patients are ill and are going to come. But here is another opportunity, maybe on the 4th day or the 11th day or the 12th day. Maybe you could first give them a call and say, I'm professionally occupied, the people are very sick and they need my attention. I do understand that I am required there. I'm sorry for your loss. And I will make myself physically available to you on such and such a day. And then because that is an event to happen in future, you can streamline your appointments in such a way that you don't disappoint your patients. And at the same time, you're able to complete your responsibility of paying your respects to the departed soul.
yes, sir.
So this is how
Thank you,
thinking
sir.
out of the box, trying to prioritize things, structuring time, seeing how I can best handle this unpredictability, this situation. And for all of this, we require a calm mind, a mind that doesn't trouble us, jostle us from here to there. And guilt is one of the feelings that can upset our thinking, our cognitive pattern to such an extent that we feel paralyzed. So, thinking in this ways or these lines sometimes gives us a solution that we thought didn't exist. I hope
Thank you,
I've been
sir.
able to answer the question, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Sir, the next meeting, we want to listen you more, sir. So please keep on, I'll say the organizers informing us on our telephone, sir. Mobile number,
Yes,
this is WhatsApp number, sir. Please keep on
yes.
informing us priorly. Okay.
Yeah, I
We
will
Please,
want to
send it.
listen you again, sir. Thank
I'll
you
be
so
glad to
much.
do that. Glad to
Thank
do
you,
that,
sir.
sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much,
Dr.
sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you,
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
Devendra. I will send you the recorded one to you. And also, if you don't mind spreading the message to other practitioners and also other people too in various walks of life. Thank you so much. Appreciate, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
The next is Dr. Singar Velu. He says it is a very nice presentation. I have a question for you, sir. Fantastic. Thank you for attending this one. Yeah, we will
Thank you.
definitely request Dr.
Thank
Bajaj to give more lectures, not only for the all my colleagues like us, and also for the students and other people, because we wanted to shape up the country from young onwards up. Thank you, sir.
Thank
thank you, sir.
And
Thank you.
the next one is Dr. Loganathan. He asked, is there a plural about facing failure? To be honest, I'm not that good in Tamil literature. If anyone, maybe Dr. Bajaj or even Dr. Shankar Babu may know, is there any plural about facing failure? Dr. Bajaj?
Kural, Tirukural?
Yeah,
So sorry, I'm not so adept uh, at this language. Though I
me
know
too.
there are words of wisdom. There will
Yeah,
be words of wisdom about failure. There's no doubt.
me too. I don't have any clue.
In fact, why are we so worried? Why do we, shake in the veil of failure? What we are today is only because we were challenged all the time. Like I said about the infancy, we were challenged by gravity to not be able to stand up and take our first step. But did we not defeat gravity ultimately and learn to crawl, to stand, to walk, and then to run? Isn't that a story of conquering failure by itself? Why have we forgotten that? And in the same way, when we face obstacles today in our day to day life, let's resort to those same means to keep that inner resolve. Come what may, I will walk like my father, like my mother, because I want to imitate them. And today, we have great personalities amongst us whom we can imitate. The ones who have reached the, peak of success. We can model them and reach. And there's no success without failure. Failure is just something that happens which is not taking us to our destination. That is all at its simplest form. We need to rethink, realign, and redirect our efforts to the path that will take us to success. Take it as an adventure. Take it as something that can inspire us, enthuse us, motivate us, and give us memories that we will cherish forever.
Hello.
Hello? Yeah.
Dr. Shankar
Hi.
Babu?
Uh, uh, to say for that Kural, Tirukural,
Yeah.
What I can tell him is Tirukural itself is success to anything. Okay, anything you think about it and read any Kural, you will find it that it is against the failure. Like I can say every poem is something important. Like முயற்சி திருவினையாக்கும் முயற்றின்மை இன்மை புகுத்தி விடும். That's what now Dr. Bajaj was saying. Like you try. That's it. It is all about uh, what you are thinking about. If you are looking for some victory and then read the Tirukural, everything is like for the road to success. Tirukural, all the Kurals, I can say. Tiruvulvar says, you give the job, you assess a person and then give the job to that person accordingly. That itself is a road to success. It's I can say every Tirukural is it will help you to for the road to success. Like செய்வினை செய்வான் செயன்முறை அவ்வினை உள்ளறிவான் உள்ளங்குழல். So many things I can say. You can simply say முயற்சி திருவினையாக்கும் முயற்றின்மை இன்மை புகுத்தி விடும். That is the best one I can say. I can remember just now.
Thank you so much. I know you. So one another question. Dr. Raghunath wants to ask questions. Please go ahead, please. Dr.
How
Raghunath.
do we know about your program? How do we know about your program?
Oh, send me your WhatsApp number. I will make sure you will get the invitation, if that is okay. Or are you in any kind of groups like IAP, or
Yeah.
IMA?
I'm in IAP.
You're in IAP.
Through our IAP only we got this information.
Yeah,
In our
I
Pedicon
always
faculty
post.
group, we got this one. That's why I could
Oh,
join today. I saw
thank you
at
so.
5:55.
Oh, okay. Well, my IAP academic group, I send it, and also the Pedicon, all IAP, not all IAP groups, some of the groups accommodated me, and I send it to them.